questions? ఎలా జర ఇప్పుడే లావా కానా రాసు Can you put it on the ground? It will be better. Me.
Yes, saying that you were bad, and I continually I have had great results. I am another woman through this experience, and he, on the contrary, is very much against it. We were involved a lot with channeling and spiritual, a man that channels spirits, and I seem to think that he's still involved with that in some way. I seem to think that is what is holding him back. Something is holding him, and I don't know. I don't know if it's my place to help him or just be a light or help him. I don't know what to do.
Now, to be very frank, no American is afraid of anything. Every world is afraid of them. It's a wrong idea they have. It's very surprising that the people who give sense of insecurity to everyone always say, I'm insecure. Very surprising. That's the way they can just say it. I haven't met any American who is insecure. On the contrary, they are extremely aggressive people. Very, very aggressive for nothing at all. I'll give an example. The other day we had gone to one lawyer and we were waiting for the lift to come down. When the lift came, such a hefty, tall man, 6 foot, at least 7 inches, very hefty man, was in that. And we were standing for the lift to come. We didn't know there's somebody inside that. As soon as the lift opened, he says, who are you? Like a bunch of thugs standing here. Imagine. We were amazed. There was no need. He had a chance to say something to us, he just said it. So please, we said, it's all right. What could you do? This is the kind of fear they have. Russians and Americans, both are just the same, I would say. Let them fight it out among themselves. But to say that an American is frightened of something, that's the biggest joke. They are not frightened. On the contrary, they always fall into problems because they go to something which is challenging. I'll give you. All the false gurus take money from you. All right. Now, they say, this one, recently somebody told me, she paid so much money to the gentleman, he took her into a room, all alone. She's not frightened. I mean, an Indian woman would be frightened of a man who takes her into one room. She said, no, better do whatever you like. She's not frightened. She went inside the room. He said, now take out your clothes. She took out her clothes, not frightened. He said, now you sit here and jump. Jump, jump, jump. She started jumping. Not afraid that she'll break her bones or hands or feet or anything. Just started jumping. I feel very fine. I feel very nice. What are they afraid of? Doing stupid things they are not afraid of. Doing nonsensical things they are not afraid of. But to do sensible thing they are. That's basically wrong thing. In Brighton we had a nude, swimming pool, where it's such a cold, time there. I don't know why in a country which is so cold people want to take out their clothes. Some sort of, I can't understand. I mean, in the night we sleep with all our clothes on in a place like India. What is the need to take out clothes? I still don't understand. All right. So there was one swimming pool they started, a very big venture, All the television, everything focused and everybody watching is for the women and men who become nude. What is so great? Anybody can become. But it's an old lady of my age walking into the water. It's very cold, I was wondering, this woman will get cold or something like that and pneumonia. So she said, how do you feel? Oh, I feel very hot. This stupid woman was feeling hot, This is what it is. What's wrong? To do something stupid, nonsensical, they have no fear. How is it you think all these gurus have prospered? With all their tricks, where people have become mad, have become lunatics, they have lost their money, sold their children out. How? For Sahaja Yoga, they are frightened. Why? You see the point? See the point? This is the character. Such people cannot do Sahaja. We have to have people of strength, people of character, people of dignity. We can't have such people who go after this thing. Like the other day, one boy came and he asked me all stupid questions. And he was saying that, you see, what about flying in the air? I said, it's all right, but supposing you are suddenly dropped down, what will you do? He's willing to fly in the air. Supposing, you see, he has no wings, nothing, no parachute, how will he come down? Even the children understand the joke. So this is what it is. To be like a clown, they have no fear at all. But to be sensible, balanced, and dignified, they are afraid. And we are not here to ask for elections, are we? Sahaja Yoga is difficult for people who are stupid naturally, people who want to have a life of destruction. It is for people who want to evolve, people who want to become more compassionate, affectionate, and humble, which is very difficult. Here the training is, if you are humble, anybody will trample on you. You will be finished, you will be killed. All right? You have to be aggressive. To say an aggressive person is afraid of another person, then you better change the meaning of the word aggressive. I would not say only Americans, even English. In English language, I am afraid. What are they afraid? Everybody is afraid of an Englishman. If he comes in your house, be careful. He'll create problem between husband and wife. What is there to be afraid? Afraid of that is divine, of that is blissful, that is such an advantage to me. Sahaja Yoga is nothing but blessings, blessings, blessings. Nothing to sacrifice, nothing to give up, nothing to sell out. Even small things like children, their problems, this, that is looked into. Somebody who cares for you, somebody who manages things, somebody who makes you powerful and confident and secure. What is there to be afraid of? But the brains are upside down. They are not afraid of a tiger, but afraid of a cow. What do you say to such a person? He said, what are you afraid of? Afraid of a cow. And what you are not afraid of? Not of a tiger. All right. So it's all right. Sorry. I'll go to some other place. That's what you have to say. I mean, this is what it is. People are just upside down. Their value system is upside down. Example, I'll give you a very simple example. This Mr. Hart lost his election because they said he had some relationship with some woman. It's so common in this country. What is there that he should lose? I mean, if he had done something else, like if he had taken some money of the government or must have cheated them, then it's all right. But on a point which everybody does, it would be tomorrow, why did you eat a sausage? That's why it lose you. It's absurd. They're upside down. Brains are upside down. See, what is the logic? So those who say they are afraid, you say, you're right. You go and bang your head with something that would be better for you. It's all stories, I tell you. It's the way they put you down. There's nothing to be afraid from a fragrance of the flower. It's like that. We have a guru who cannot bear any flowers, no fragrance. But if you take the water from the gutters, he's very happy. Now, what do you say to that? I mean, we are not here to please such people, are we? You know there's a guru like that. He can't bear. He got how many Rolls Royces? 63 Rolls Royces. And they used to take gutter water for him instead of giving flowers. And there are many Americans who did it. Thousands and thousands and thousands. Imagine to buy 63 Rolls Royces out of American money. What do you say to them? But they are afraid to come to Sahaj. See, this is self-deception. There's nothing hiding in Sajjana. We have to say what one has to say. We have to face what one has to face. You should not have any conditionings about it. You should not have any ego about it. Try to understand that this has to be understood, that we have to be ourselves. We have to grow. Whatever is wrong within us has to go away. But it's only possible when you become the self. Like if I have something wrong on my sari, I can only see it if I have eyes. Otherwise anybody says you are wearing a sari which is dirty, I might be angry. If I am identified with the sari, I'll be angry. But if I see, oh God, I better clean it. So it's a vicious circle. How to open their eyes? Because to open their eyes is very difficult, impossible, because they are afraid. They're afraid of the light, happy with the darkness. Now you cannot please them. Also, you must know that if you put the whole American people together and all the Western people together, we have many-fold more people, say in India and other countries, who will become realized souls. Oh, God doesn't bother from where they come. If they want to accept such horrible gurus, let them have it and go with them. As they say, take 2 running jumps and go to hell. That's the attitude of the divine. I really tell you, but not mine, because I am the mother. So I have to make the compromise between the nonsensical people and the divine, which is nothing but sense. That is common sense. So what I have to do is to, all right, doesn't matter, let's try. They'll come from, they'll be all right. They are created by God. That's why they are loved. But not because you are seeking any elections. We must realize it. We are not the only human beings living. We are not the topmost people. Let's see where we have gone. I don't want to condemn anyone as such because they are all my children, but I would like you to see where are we. We must understand. We're getting destroyed, our children are getting destroyed, our society is getting destroyed, the whole thing is getting destroyed. Where are we? What's the use of calling ourselves great? Now AIDS, you will be surprised. There's a war on AIDS. What is the war on AIDS? Once upon a time, you see these tourists used to bring their clothes and their sleeping bags and everything, and sell them in the border of Nepal. My daughter lives there. Once they got the news of AIDS, not that they don't purchase this, but they have thrown everything, whatever they had in the house, and burnt it down. This is the situation. Nobody wants to kiss an American these days, to be very frank. I've been warned. That's what you are. That's what we are going. Let's see, where are we going? Relatively. But we think still we are great. Then who can help you? You are just holding on now to something. Any moment you will fall down. Supposing that is the situation, then try to understand. We are in a difficult situation. I want to warn you again, just like Vishnumaja. Not only that you should understand, but be in possession of this understanding that we have to save others. If they are afraid, tell them, what are you afraid of? Stupid fellow. Come along. They like it, I tell you. But I am afraid, then you also very sophisticatedly say, oh, I am sorry, you are afraid. What are you afraid of? Alright? That's how it will work. Otherwise it's not going to work out. I have tried all tricks. Nothing works out unless you tell them better join Sahaja Yoga, otherwise you will be destroyed tomorrow. You will get cancer, you will get AIDS, you will get this. If you want to save yourself, come to Sahaja Yoga. That's what they understand. And that's what the gurus do to them. If you do not jump, I'll throw you out of the room. So they start jumping. It's a fact. Till they break their bones, they jump. So, you should know that you are Sahajogis and that you are building up a new society of people who can save others. For that you have to know how far people have gone, how you have to pull them out, how you have to work it out. Any style of compromise, any style of explanation, discussion, try everything. Because after all, I don't want them to be destroyed. But don't think what they say has any sense in it. You must have a higher understanding than they are, because you know that they are catching on the agya and they are afraid. All right? Some of them do say, I've heard, that supposing we get transformed, then we cannot enjoy the life of everyday life. What are you enjoying? On the road you are walking. When I came in Los Angeles, they told me, Mother, do you know, serious things have happened. I said, what serious things? On this road, 3 people were killed last week. I said, how? Just a shot. What's so great about us? You should ask. Aren't you worried about this may happen to you, to happen to your children? You'll be killed. Anybody can kill you. What are you doing about it? Talk like that, as if you understand the problem. You express your concern. Heartfelt concern. Definitely they will understand. Because they told me that in Sahaja Yoga it's very bad because we'll be transformed and then we'll not enjoy. So, this is what you are enjoying on the street. Go ahead. Enjoy the fear, the scariness of it. You can't make your children play in the front door. That's what you are enjoying. They enjoy. If they are stupid, they say, this is our fundamental right to be stupid. But you have a fundamental right to enjoy joy, to meet joy. Have you met joy? That's your fundamental right, to be the spirit. Have you become the spirit? It's fundamental right. What sort of a fundamental right it is to be stupid? They say it openly, shamelessly, without any respect of yourself. They have no respect of themselves. So they have to first have their own respect. For that, they have to understand that they are human beings, at the epitome of evolution. They don't have to become worms now anymore. All this you can talk to them the way I'm talking to you, all of you, and tell them, see now, this is what it is. What is happening? What are we doing about it? All right? Even then, if they say so, all right, don't waste your energy. We have to work it out together. Try any tricks that are possible. You are permitted. But in Sahaja Yoga, there's no need to tell lies. No need to do any harm, to torture someone. There's no need at all. But better bring to their understanding, in their vision, what is going to happen to the country. That's your job as Sahaja Yogis. I don't want anything from you, as you know. But you have to understand that Mother has given us realization that we have become Sahaja Yogis for what? We have become Sahaja Yogis to be the light, to show them the light, show them the darkness, show them the way they will fall down and will be destroyed. That's our job. All right? May God bless you. Any other question, please? A little loudly.
I was wondering if you could talk about what we can do to form a school for our children here in America. Many of us now with small children become concerned.
That has been my primal problem here. I know, it's terrible, I know. It's going to be very difficult for you to have your children sent to these schools because the atmosphere is so bad. For the time being, I only feel that you must develop your children in such a manner that they become strong, self-confident, and also they have good examples before them, as you people are, to begin with. And you will find many Indian families are here. But what I have seen is that the children of at least 60% of Indian families don't learn bad things normally. This is my own experience. The reason is because the Indian family people are all the time talking to their children, having a nice family meetings together, taking them out, telling them about good things, of sharing. Because those people who are here from India have had that kind of a training, so they are trying to train their children in the same way. Now the families which are so-called advanced here can beat you hollow in nonsensical things. Because when it comes to advancement, they don't know how to relate it to anything else. But those who are not that way, those who have been going through a lifestyle still maintain their own ideas and their own behavior, their own principles. They are imbibed by children. And they just think these are another category of people. These are not our style. These are different. They don't change. I've seen many families like that. In the same way, first of all, you must pay full attention to your children, talk to them, bring them up in such a manner that they have another value system. I mean, I can say about my own daughters or grandchildren, you put them anywhere in the world, they will never become like others because they have their roots. So you must try to make their roots very strong into great principles. Then they won't be that much in difficulty. Like as I was discussing today with people, that as I said, that Indian society has built up itself in traditional, ages it has built in traditions and things. So it must have made mistakes, trial and error and all that, but it has reached some very fine points. One thing about children in India, say, we don't tell them, don't touch this, don't take this, don't open this, never. We also don't allow them just to behave like a bull in a china shop. Supposing now I want to have a diet coke, all right? So I'll tell a child, all right, go and get 1 tin of diet coke. Now bring this glass. Slowly, because it is very good, so beautiful, you have to use it very carefully. Now keep it there. Now open the pan, put it in there. Now you have to bring it and give it to a friend or anyone. So the child carries it very carefully. But supposing it falls down, doesn't matter. We'll have another one. So the child develops the deftness of handling it, the respect for it, and not the sort of a fear of it. The cooking same way is today there was a big complaint about the way people cook here. And in the discussion then I reached a conclusion that the mother cooks that way. So what mother says, all right, the child doesn't sit in the TV room if mother is cooking in Indian homes. The child is in the TV, no, he's with the mother. The mother says, all right, now what you do, we'll cut some vegetables. I'm cutting, now you better do it. Now whatever is left out, which is not to be used for cooking, we have to put it in this thing. Now this has to go into the waste paper basket. And Indian kitchen is all the time clean, spick and span, every minute. Every room is spick and span. House. Outside what can we do? Is the government, the management, nonsense. I mean the people here think they are very clean. I think they are not. Only the government is. The clothes are hanging here, this, that. In Indian homes, even in the poorest of poor you go, everything will spick and span clean. Because the child is told to keep it. Now, the child has, say, a paper in his hand. He won't throw it everywhere. Carry, take it to the... How? Because the mother will say, all right, now this paper is here. Where should it go? All the time the mother and the child are together, or the father. All the time, wherever. It's not that the children can't go to this place. Here the beginning itself is wrong. When the little child is born, you put him in another room and the parents are sleeping in another room. It's the worst thing that you can do to a little baby. That's how the child will become very insecure, unhappy, abnormal. In the subconscious, the child will have a very funny feelings. After marriage, after having children, the parents have to accept parenthood. They are still in the bridal dresses, or the men are still saying, oh, they are romantic heroes going around. You are parents now. Otherwise, don't produce children. If you produce children, be parents. That doesn't mean you should become absolutely boring type people. But take interest in your children. Keep them with you all the time. Talk to them. Tell them how to behave. I mean, the behavior here of children is abnormally funny, I find. For that, one has to blame the training. And all the freedom is to be given to children. Now, the carpet is more important than child. A door is more important than a wall is more important than the child. Then what happens when the children grow up? I've seen. When they go to somebody's house, they start using everything as if they are own. In their house, they are very comfortably sitting. And also, every way you have restrictions on children, it sometimes shocks. Like I will tell you the example of my own granddaughter. She was telling me that, Nani, I had invited some girls for my birthday party. And you know, they liked it very much. And she asked me, can I have some more? I was surprised. It was all mummy had made for them, and she had such a lot inside, and she was enjoying the very eating. So they came and asked, can I have for some more? They are not beggars. They are children. They should rule all their wants. They should ask for what. But then you'll get some toys, put them. The toy is with the child. Child doesn't know the parents. Toys, fill it up with the toys. Then by the time you go in the garage, there's no place. All the toys are kept there. So the whole training system is wrong. You must take your child with you, you must take him out, you must show everything. Who else is going to teach them? I see a mother who is, say, a person who has done, say, MA in botany, and a child doesn't know what is a leaf and what is a flower. Involve them with yourself. You go to work, tell them what happened, today this thing happened in the work, this is what. They are something separate from you. How can they grow? At this time, they depend on you for all their nourishment, every time. And in that you have to teach them how to share things. But I think very little time is spent with children. It should be much more, much more. Continuously it should be. I mean, even my girls who are on his she's 40 years of age. Even now she comes and sleeps with me in the morning time. She must hug me, sleep with me, and when I come, she cries like a little baby. What to do? I did the same with my mother. But I knew everything about my mother, and I knew so many things that she liked and what she didn't like and what should not be done. And there is such an attachment to the mother comes in and father. You don't want to lose that love. Once my daughter asked me, when she was in college, I want to wear sleeveless blouses. I said, go ahead, no harm. She said, but why don't you wear? I said, I feel shy. I feel shy to expose my arms. Then she said, immediately, then this is no criteria because I've asked you, you should say yes to me. No, that's not good. She herself corrected herself. So first, a complete integration of the children with yourself. Now the films, they have for films of children, for adolescents, then I don't know what else is there. Groups. No, all the films should be for everyone. But if you have to show filthy stuff, then you have to have it after 12 o'clock in the night. Why to see filthy stuff? Whatever your children cannot see, why should you see? It's not something very matured, is it? that you want to see and the children can't see. So the whole shifting starts. Like a mother is seeing the very mature thing is about God, is about some great incarnation of some philosophy. Children are also sitting. Then they start asking, what is collective consciousness at a very young age? What is Chaitanya? What is Omkara? The whole attention moves to something else. Otherwise you show them a thing for the children. In that they'll show you this doll coming today, that doll. Mommy, I must have that doll. Get them the doll and be finished with them. That's not the way. Bring their attention out of all these things. See, these all medias, everything, are working on your children morning till evening. Now they have a doll in America which even have a birth date. And then you have to join a club. For that club you have to pay so much dollars. And then you become a member of that. Then they write to you what is the name for the child and when was she christened and this and that. They are playing upon your children. And you are happy as long as children don't trouble you. And when they trouble you, in England, I don't know, in America, what do? They kill their children. Then the children kill them. The whole thing is upside down. India, it might happen if they become developed and advanced. So we are different people. We come out of it. Now let's start another way. Let's not identify ourselves with that nonsense. Let's be something extraordinary. Let's make our children something different. That's what is to be given to your children. Not money, wealth, toys, no. Personality, roots. You are their roots. If you are shifty like this, how do you expect your children to be all right? You have to nourish them. All right? So first of all, the education of the child starts with the father, mother and the family. And the respect for elders. Supposing your father is there, your mother is in the house, and if you will treat your parents, they will ill-treat you, naturally. This is a very interesting story. There was an old lady and she had a father-in-law who was very old. And the son always used to carry his broth in a bowl made of ordinary clay. And she used to treat him like a dog, the daughter-in-law. One day that broke. And this boy fell down and it broke and he started crying. So the mother thought he's very badly hurt the way he was crying. He said, no, I'm not hurt, but this thing is broken. She said, why are you crying for that? We can get another one. I said, sure you can get another one. He said, yes. Because I was worried, how will I give you food when you will be old? That's what I was worried. That when I have to send you food, how will I manage? Then she understood. How you treat others, how you behave towards others, how you live neatly, clean ways and things, that's what children do. Greatest thing, more than precepts, are practices. Here the husband-wife will quarrel, the presence of children, beat each other. Imagine. I've seen that. If you see any film these days, is the quarrel between husband and wife. Put this way, that way, this way, that way. That's all. Get fed up of it. No respect, no love, no affection. Or some sort of a destruction. Then the children themselves don't want to see any picture. You see, when my daughters were small, I would only take them to religious picture like Sri Rama's life, this, that, and all that. So they developed a taste for that. So when they went home to my mother's place, they said, we will not go to this picture. If there is any Ramas, Hanumanas, then we'll go. So my sister said, you see, first of all, we can't leave them alone in the house. You can't take them to any picture. They don't like any other picture but that of God's pictures. So, I mean, there are not so many. So what to do? I said, all right, why don't you also see with them the same? She said, but there are some nice social pictures. And I said, they don't like it. So what sort of books you give them? What sort of things you talk to them? Always be with them, keep them with you. That's the best. Or even if they have to go to some school, it should be a school where there's love, affection, good company, they talk of Saj Yoga, sort of a thing. I wish we could start a school of Saj Yoga in America. But you know how difficult it is to start anything sensible. Everybody is afraid. But if you want to start a school of nonsensical things, they'll give you grants. It's very difficult. Even in England, same thing. Can't start a school. If you want to start some sort of a disco, it's very easy. Many schools are closing down in England. Actually, there was a school for sale. Wanted to buy in my own simple ideas. They said, Mother, first thing, why it is closed? I said, why? Because of the different rules and regulations, it is closed. I said, then your great-grandchildren might be able to go to that school. It will take so much time. So first thing I'll say, you should look after your children. Tell them when it is wrong, you must tell them this is wrong, it should not be. Like your child doesn't respect others, you must tell them. If he spoils something or does something wrong to others, then you must tell. If he doesn't share things, you must tell, you must share your doll, you must share this. But when it comes to correcting him for nonsensical things, you should not. We'll see, it will change. Then later on, of course, we have to think of a school and all that. We're trying to do something. Let's work it out, maybe. Then we'll take over. Basically, they should be all right. Otherwise, they come to India and slap all the teachers. What's the use? It's not easy. Western children are not easy to manage. Actually, then definitely they'll be frightened of Western children coming to India. Rather difficult. Because you must discipline them. And the main thing is they should like the discipline. They should want the discipline. That's how you should create. This stupid idea of freedom means license should go out of it. They should like it. I remember my parents, the way they disciplined us, we like it. Any child would remember that. Oh, my father, very particular. But here, they'll call a 12-year-old son. I know a friend of ours, such a shocking story. The lady came to, friend means in the official way. She came to London and she said, have you seen the pubs? I said, no. Wonderful, interesting pubs in London. I said, really? She had a list of them. She said, the best is this one. I said, what is so special? It's called as the Hermit's Pub. So what is great? See, a man died in this place. And people did not know for months together. Then the smell started coming out. So they came in, took him away and buried him. But all the cobwebs and all the smell is still retained. And that's the most expensive pub in London. I said, oh God, what's this going on? This lady said, We are very free with our children. We allow them to do what they like. And she had two sons, I think one was 12-year-old and one was 11-year-old. And these husband and wife were sleeping upstairs in America. These two children were having a party. The father had given them alcohol, beer, all open, drink, what, oh, enjoy, we are one. And these children of that age group started drinking, and then I don't know what happened to them. They put fire to some alcohol, and the whole house was burnt. One child ran out, 11-year-old. The mother, father, one son, all died, and so many children. This is no freedom. You have to teach your children discretion. You have to teach them. This is what one has to learn. So I think before starting a school for children, let us start a school for parents. What do you say? All right, what is next?
You have suggested that we can try many tricks or different tricks and approaches with seekers to find our brothers and sisters. And in Australia, when someone has
No, I can't hear you. Just come here. Yes, Ursula. What's it?
You have suggested that we could try many tricks to find our brothers and sisters and different ways and approaches. And in Australia, each idea seems to be, they're so enthusiastic and they support the idea. And there's I don't know if it's just my feeling, but there's a feeling here that when there's a suggestion or an idea, we're very, oh no. One person may say, yes, good idea. Another person may say, no, and there's just, then you don't want to do anything wrong, so you just don't do anything. You just wait, and then nothing happens. And I don't know.
I mean, among Saj Yogis, you mean to say. It comes from the individualistic attitude about towards. I mean, anything you tell them, they cannot live collectively, that we know in the West. I know what I have to go through when we have to organize their programs with 300 people coming, with this and that, but this individualism is so much. Like every bathroom has a different tap. You better ask somebody, otherwise you'll land up into difficulties. Even the tiles have to be different. Everything has to be different. Now, if there's something fundamental, then you can ask your leader. But if it is something mundane, all right. You want blue color, have blue. You want red, have red. Like that you can solve your problem. If it is something fundamental, then you should ask your leader. But if it is something which is not fundamental, which is very simple, let them have their own way, then gradually they'll grow into it. Because this is the basic problem of these countries. So-called individualism makes them feel that, oh, this is mine, I'll do the way I like. Now say a motor car has a different handle. Now a person who is sitting inside must know what sort of a handle it is. Tomorrow something happens, you can't even open it. But otherwise they are not at all individualistic, I'll tell you how. Like in India, supposing I'm wearing this sari. Maybe there's another sari like that. If another lady is wearing the same sari, she'll go and change and come back. She won't wear the same sari. But here in fashion, if somebody is now that our Princess of Wales has this kind of a hairstyle, all English girls have the same hairstyle. You don't know from one to another. So what is so individual about them? If some fashion starts now, this is the fashion, very fashionable. What is fashionable? Is to cut your hair this way and make a punk. So everybody is a punk. Suddenly you find Sir Yogis walking as punks You want to know who is who? So what is the individual character there? Where is the individuality? On principles you should be individuals. On principles and not on artificial. Now this one has a principle. Supposing I am wearing this sari. It's made by hand, spun by hand, designed by one person. So I am giving importance to one person. Now he might have made 2 or 3 or 4 at the most. Now if somebody repeats the same sari, that means I have not encouraged that man so much. Like you can have the same sari made out of, say, machine. Then we'll start, all right, have 10 saris like this, 20 saris like this, all made by machines. But here, because we want to have a sari separate, it has to be made with hand. In principle, see how it helps. This is what it is. In principle, you should be collective. In principle, you should be individualistic. In Sahaja Yoga, we don't want you dressed up the same way. I mean, I don't want Americans to go about like something Chinese. Let us have our own dress up the way we like, everything. That's all right. It's nothing important. But in principle, you have to be the same. One principle nourishes the tree, the sap. It has many flowers, fruits, it has many leaves, it's all right outside. So in principle you have to be collective. All right? For mundane things, why to fight? But in any case, somebody who is an elder, who knows better, who is wiser, listen to that person. We always have an awe and a respect for elders. Like I see is, thank God you have, now Sharayu, suppose you take one case, individual case. She's come all the way from India. She's staying. She knows quite a lot about pujas, things like that. She knows how to do many things. You should be prepared to know from her. Otherwise sometimes it's very embarrassing the way things happen. Now she's here, she can teach you there's nothing wrong in learning. She has learned many things from you. But there's no respect, I think, sometimes for her at all. She's an auntie somewhere sitting on the shelf. No, she's here for a purpose. One should learn, respect. But that doesn't mean you become her slave or anything, but you gain something out of her. Another person who comes here should learn. Like from Americans, we have to learn a lot. Tell me what?
I don't think we're doing much of the communication.
The communication is not there because of individualism. But that's not so. There's no individualism at all. Because I've seen once a fashion starts, everybody looks the same. The other day I came, I saw Miss ladies looking like men with muscles like this, walking like that. I said, what sort of creature is this? 1 came, 2 came, 3 came, 5 came, 10 came. What's this going on? I didn't understand. See, they're all walking like that, like Draculas. I said, what is, oh, this is fashionable. What is fashionable? They are developing their muscles. What's the principle? That's it. So, in such things we do not argue. Means in stupidity we don't argue. But in sensible things we are. In sensible things we have to understand what is sensible. After all, we are realized souls. We are not like other people. We must understand what is good. When I say something you agree, I don't know how. You like it. I may say something also which may not be so palatable, but you like it. See, thing must have it. This is a medicine. In the same way, one should see to things which you may not like so much, because maybe you are conditioned, but see to the sense of it, the common sense, the balance. You can understand. And you have something very great called vibrations. But even that also I've seen horrible things they do. Some people went, as to husband wife, went to stay with some lady because her husband had gone to India. Threw all her furniture out, all her carpets out, everything out. I said, why did you do it? Very bad vibrations. I said, really? Now will you please pay for all that? For the bad vibrations. I mean, anybody else's things, who are you to decide good or bad vibrations? You look after your own vibration. So they also sometimes use the vibrations just to sort of express their ego. So let us try on ourselves, everyone. Am I doing it just for ego's sake? Am I quarreling because of ego? Am I saying no for ego? As far as possible, try to concede. You'll feel much better. We learn much more. I mean, I've learned so many things since I've been abroad. I mean, I didn't know so many things I don't know even now. For example, I didn't know how to operate a TV. Even now I don't know much about it. Really, I didn't know how to operate a telephone of a particular type. So I had to learn. You know, I had to learn how to book a ticket, which I don't do even now, but still I have to learn. So many things I have to learn, and whatever I can learn, I would like to learn. Cooking, I know, but I never knew how to wash utensils because in India, normally you have servants, but I learned it. Your style with very liquid, I had to learn. There's nothing wrong in it. So one must try to learn than to argue.
In Australia, the enthusiasm and the joy that they have, and if someone has an idea for something, there's just so much support for that they all go out to help each other.
Agree.
It becomes a very big collective effort.
But Australians are very wise people. They understand wisdom. That's what we have to be, wise, very wise. And if any Indian is there, they try to ask, how do you do? Particular things, on principle, as like puja things, they'll ask an Indian. But booking the seats, never ask Indians. They're no good. Cooking, kitchen cleaning, very good. Maintaining house, all right. Looking after children, all right. But driving a car, an Indian, save me. I would never sit in a car which is driven by an Indian in America. Because it's crazy the way people drive. You know, this fellow won't know how to do it. So it's just wisdom and discretion one has to use and not to fight. It happens, I'm happy I've seen this in America, in Australians. They were declared as people who were criminals, the children of criminals. They are so sensible. Discretion must be used. That's important. It's sad, but it will be all right, I'm sure, one day. Never argue on things which doesn't involve any principle. It's the best way. It's the happiest. Even now, you see, today it was so warm. Wanted to wear a cotton sari, you see. But my children said, no, must wear this one. I said, wore it. I was perspiring, this, that. All right, doesn't matter what is there. Perspire for a while. Came out with this sari. They liked it, so it's all right to please them. Nothing, no principle is involved in it. When you think about others, then you will get rid of this problem. But so many people try to teach also Sahaja Yoga to others. That should not be. It's a very serious thing. They will start teaching. That need not be taught that way. Then people don't like it. But your own behavior, in your own character, in your own responses, people should see this person is like this. And they should imbibe. That's the point. I think what we lack is discretion. If you are discreet, you will learn very fast. It's not difficult.
We still can be very judgmental too.
Huh?
We still can be very judgmental of newcomers. If they have particular problems, we get all. It's hard.
With the newcomers, agreed. With the newcomers, you should not be harsh with them. You should be kind. You should try to understand this thing. But, still, I tell you sometimes. The other day I had some boy who had come, right? He asked me at least 20 questions. I answered them properly, this thing, that thing. And he got so pampered that he sent me news, I don't want to become such yogi. But for me, anybody would box his nose for such an answer. So this, see, you have to take it in a stride. Situation is so bad. Situation is very bad. Must understand we are on a war path. Whatever is possible, we can do it. But every country has improved so much. So what's wrong here is people don't want to learn. People don't want to understand the sacrifice of giving up your ego, giving up your decisions. All right, let's see, like that. That's why it doesn't grow. Now, one thing I must say, in America, if you have my program, hall will be full, I won't be able to enter in, and when I get out, I'll be pushed out like a piston. I've seen it. When the people are so much, I don't know how to get in and how to get out. It's terrible. And when I go away, they just disappear. Because there's something lacking, of course I agree. Among Saj Yogis, that we have to see. After all, nothing special about me as such. They just see my photograph and come to the programs and sit down there. Even if I have 3 days program, it goes on increasing. While there are Saj Yogis who may not even be able to have one person in the hall. What's the reason? They don't know me. All right? So there's something lacking in us also when the newcomers come in, how we treat them, we talk to them, how we appeal to them. Once in a while, of course, there would be somebody who will be rude. Doesn't matter. But try to be nice to them. On the whole, I think, with the newcomers, I won't tell all these things to a newcomer if he comes. If a newcomer comes, I'll say, oh, very nice, how are you, this, that, you see. Settle him down. Any other fundamental differences you find, you can ask me. Fundamental. Little you say, come here.
I'm just a little curious about, well, the future a little bit. Are you going to manifest yourself in some different way as Sri Kalbi? Or are you going to sort of let the change happen a little more gradually?
Direct questions. You tell me, what should I do? Tell me, what should I do? Any other form won't be suitable. Try any other form. Take Sri Krishna's form. You have to take the Sudarshana and just kill all those who don't believe in Sajoga. Is it all right? Take the form of Jesus Christ. Hang yourself nicely. Finish with everyone. Then think of Kalaki. Finish everything. After doing all this work beautifully, creating all this world so beautifully, don't you think one should manage it? Try to manage it as far as possible. That's my style. Which one would you prefer? What did he say? That's it. See, that's what. Nothing else. Of course, you should know that Kalaki is acting, everybody is acting, everybody is acting, but is on a low key, as they say. One has to be very careful. It's a very delicate job. So many are lost. These gurus have taken over so many. It's a very, very delicate job. All right? But if necessary, I can do something. Now, any other question? What time is your dinner? Any other question?
Mother, it seems that many of us here don't really know about the Hamsa chakra,
About what?
about the Hamsa chakra,
I'm sorry.
in terms of understanding how it relates to the Vishuddhi and what we can do to strengthen our Vishuddhi.
Hamsa chakra stands between the Vishuddhi and the Agya, as you can see clearly positioned like that. But from Vishuddhi, there are many nerves which pass through Hamsas and end up here. They don't all go to the brain. Or we can say that at this time, at this point, all our reactions, which are what you call reflex reactions, finish off. So, supposing now I get some dirty smell, I'll close my nose like that. Or if I can't hear, I'll just pull my ears like this. Or if I see something dirty, or if I see something jarring, my eyes will close automatically. If somebody tries to put a pin through me, immediately I'll spontaneously. It's all built in within my system and your system too, that you react with reflex action. Same thing may not happen to animals. Animals are different. Some animals have certain reflex actions, some have some reflex actions. But we are different, and our reflex actions, we are all practically just the same. There's not much individuality. There isn't much difference in our reflex actions. At the most, with conditioning, somebody might say, yeah, somebody might say, oh, somebody may say something. That's different. But the reflex actions are just the same. So up to the reflex action, we don't have to use discretion. Then starts our discretion part. As discretion starts when we are using these two nadis which meet here without going to the Agya. So when these two nadis meet here, what happens? We start seeing through our experiences. First would be a reflex action, automatic reflex action. The second is when, supposing a child, if you tell the child, now this is hot, don't put your hand there, he won't listen. Put the child. With the experience, he will develop reflex actions, the conditionings of it. So thus reflexes are built in within us. Also, they are built in within us with, we should say, with other conditionings like, you see, in a country, supposing there's racialism, or in a country like ours, there's a caste system, then person react according to what they have learned from childhood. All these conditionings could be of the present day when you are born. You could have been yourself born in last life in, say, Africa. Today you are born with a white skin, so you have started sort of calling that African you have become. All these conditionings can be built into your Hamsa Chakra, which have come from your training of the mind. You can see the experiences of the mind, the experiences of the society, of your knowledge, of your education, the way you are conditioned can be built in here, in the Hamsa Chakra. And it reacts to things which has no meaning. If you I hate someone, why? Because that person wears a blue jean or something, or you can say a green shirt. Now this is built in your mind. Or sometimes this falling in love also comes from the same kind of a conditioning. Supposing you had met somebody who had, say, blue eyes and was kind to you, so you have fascination for a person who has blue eyes. There's no pure idea about beauty, there's no pure idea of happiness, there's no pure idea of aesthetics. All is conditioned. For some people this is beautiful, for somebody this is not beautiful. So this is the place where these interchanges take place between both the nadis, and here the Hamsa lies outside the path of Kundalini. They sort of come out here, out of the path of Kundalini. It's very surprising. When the Kundalini moves, she goes from Vishuddhi direct to Agya. Now, how can we improve our Hamsa there? Is a big problem. Because if our Hamsa is sick, is over-conditioned, the Kundalini cannot work on it. It just gives up. Now, so for Hamsa we use all these physical things. Like I said, put the ghee in the nose. Keep it in a way that it is nourished properly. Because Kundalini, if it tries to, too much will have problem. Problem because, as it is, most of our time we spend in such a manner that your Hamsa things become what you call the epithelial cells, the linings become dried up. Now when the Kundalini rises, she may try to create a problem more for that dryness. Maybe. So it is kept out, but it has an effect in the sense that even if there is a light outside, it can fall inside. So it's not the Kundalini directly that affects your Hamsa. It is like when the Kundalini awakens, you yourself see now that a person is, whether he is fair complexioned or dark complexioned, he is a human being, you reason it out and Hamsa clears out. Then you see yourself that, oh, I am very egoistical. You start seeing yourself through your Agya. Start seeing that I am so conditioned. So you reason it out. And that's how you correct your conditionings. This is what is Hamsa Chakra. So Hamsa Chakra cannot be done if just you are a realized soul, but is an effect, is the symptom of your Kundalini awakening. Some people think that you develop discretion uh, just as the kundalini rises. Is it wrong idea? No. That has to be deliberately seen, that you build up that discretion within yourself. But once it is built, for example, my discretion is absolute. I just know what it is. See, my conditioning here is absolute. Is one with the kundalini, one with reality. But for human beings, it has to be reflected by understanding. Like a child, he touches something hot, then it is hot. Now, this is hot because it's heated up. So you see a person is catching on the right heart. Right, he's catching on the right heart means he has got a right heart and he is suffering from such and such thing. You have to see it yourself. Now, if you tell the person, are you suffering from, say, asthma? He said, yes. How do you know? I know it because I have learnt it through my finger, which was burning. That's why I know it is. But supposing somebody has an asthma, and in that place the part, your kundalini, you will get asthma immediately. You see the point? The conditioning cannot come to us unless and until it passes through or sieves through our reasoning and understanding. Are you understanding the point? It cannot work out. The reason is it filters your collective consciousness. Otherwise, you go near a person who has AIDS and you become collectively conscious that he has AIDS. And if you imbibe all that into you as a conditioning, you will get it. But you are separated. Like a person who reads, say, there's a very nice story about this, Jerome has written. Like one man, he went and read Materia Medica. Went and told doctor that doctor, I have all the diseases except for one, which is housewife's knee. He said, how is it you haven't got it? Because I am not a housewife. So he got conditioned into all the diseases. That's how many people get diseases. But thank God there's a filter. If somebody has a disease, you don't get it because you can filter it. But Hansa Chakra could be affected by badhas. That's one problem. If some badha passes through the nose, you might. Some viruses pass through the nose, you might. Affected means it can get sick. But one must understand the discrimination between the two. Say there's a virus infection outside. It can pass into your Hamsa chakra and can give you a problem of sinus, this, that, physical. But you won't become like a person who has given you virus infection. So there is a filter. But supposing there's a person who is very hectic and you come in contact with that person, he's very hectic, so your swadhisthana can take over. You can become hectic with that person. Living with that person, you can become hectic. But as far as the Hamsa is concerned, with anybody you live, your Hamsa doesn't carry the complete impact of that because there's a filter. So now if you have to develop the discretion, you have to learn. You have to understand. It doesn't come automatically. But with children who are born realized, their Hamsa is so developed that they know it, what is right, what is wrong. Because their Hamsa is so much trained that way, they don't have to use much understanding. But those who are now growing up, have become now Sajogis, have to know through their own experiences their Hamsa. It's a filter also. But for a child, he knows what is right, what is wrong. Because his Hamsa is developed. In India, when the child is born, he is massaged nicely, Oiling is the best way to have a good mansa. Oil his head, oil his body, put किती उशीर झाला झालं संपत आलं put some drops in the nose, everything. They try in the ear, in the nose, and that's how they build up. So, what I have to say that physically you should help your Hamsa chakra by using ghee and all that, and mentally you should use it by learning things in experience, what to do, how to do it, how to work it out, how to establish. Basa, 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 basa. बसून घ्या. That is how Hamsa chakra grows and makes you discreet. That's why a tradition is very important. Tradition gives you the growth of the Hamsa chakra. And then you go on discarding whatever is wrong out of that tradition. Then again you keep whatever is good. You give it to your children, to your children, to your children. So the discretion comes to a person who is traditionally built up better than a person who has no traditions. Now, for example, this morning I was discussing that people fill the wash basin and wash their face in the West. In India, we cannot conceive of it, cannot even think of it. I mean, people don't know it can be done. Because in traditional way, it has come out that if you're washing your face and again your water goes into there, then all the dirt is in it, again you are using the same water. So you cannot have complete. So always use running water. Traditionally, we've learnt it. So it's so much in our heads, in our discretion, that we cannot even think of such a thing. Simple thing that Muladhara must be cleaned and washed. Any Indian you take it, he knows that is because they must have had some problems before. Whether he is in the north, is in the south, east or west, ask him. Auspiciousness is another thing. Is so much imbibed in the tradition. But if you have a tradition, say, of doing things which are absurd, also you can have traditions like that. Like very primitive people have all kinds of traditions which are very absurd. I was told that if you go to Ladakh, what they do, somebody dies, then keep the hand of the dead person in the house all the time like that. They think that that helps. But with tradition which is wrong, by discarding that, they will understand is wrong. So the more traditional you are, the ancient you are, you learn many things. Like we would say English are in a way traditional. So supposing there's a lady coming down and you are coming with a lady, then the man will be in front automatically. He'll just move. But if she's going up, then man will follow her. Just happens automatically. Because traditionally they have learned that if you are going down, the lady may fall or something, so we should be in front. So what you call as the traditional habits of person gives you this hamsa. And these habits are built better and better with trial and error methods. And that's how you develop it. Now for people who are Sahaja Yogis, it's much easier to imbibe them. Because if you see something, yes, that's wrong, you should not do it, finished. But you should be so clear-cut about it and should determine. It works out, your answer will be all right. But you tell them 10 times, till they'll do the same thing. Then that means that Hamsa is not willing to accept. But you must nourish it, you must look after it, you must, as I said, also this kajal is very good for Hamsa chakra. All kajal and the oil in the nose, ears, is very good. All acts for that. Even say, uh, stalking other person, to talk discreetly, is to say something which doesn't lose its power of affecting that person. Like if you say something very harsh, then you should know how to neutralize it so that he retains that into himself. All these discussions only come also by tradition. When you find something that is futile, in a collective way, in a tradition, drops out. So the blessings of the tradition is great, but greater are the blessings of your spirit. And the blessings of the spirit are such that through your vibrations, immediately you know this is wrong. But you have to be honest about it, and you just give up. You want to ascend, you want to improve your vibrations. So for that, whatever is needed, you will do.
They're serving dinner for the Saj yogis now.
Oh, I'll go out in the room.
In the cafeteria, and if we don't go now, the kitchen staff are closed.
Of course, I've been asking you, what about the dinner?
Sorry.
So let them go. All right, good idea. But what about me? I'll go in the room. All right.
Go bring it to you.
I was thinking, that's what I asked you if the dinner is ready.
Sorry,
Huh?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
At the right time I said. All right. At the right time I said, now you go ahead, otherwise the kitchen will be closed. All right. So go ahead, and I'll be going there. And then we'll meet again. We'll have some music. Had enough of this boring talk. A bell rings into my ear. 6:30 ला तर जेवायचं आहे. All right, go ahead. So I'll go back.
Served now in the cafeteria, in the inn.
Kristen,
All the Saj yogis.
Kristen, tell them that dinner time gets over at 7:30, so make sure you go.